And that's actually the reason that you're not supposed to tip a propane tank on its side. Because the volume of gaseous propane versus liquid propane, about 50x. So suddenly you got like 50 times the fire, and you're like, ah, fire!
Yeah, I could see how that would be a problem.
Yeah, so propane is not a toy. Play nicely with propane.
Propane is not a toy. Don't leave an open propane tank inside your house.
Yep, all of the fun safety videos you've ever seen about propane, most of them are legit.
They're true. Yeah,
they are true stuff.
No, I'm from Halifax on the East Coast, and I remember that there was somebody who had left like a full tank of propane just like in their basement or something like that, and turned on the oven like the next day or something like that, and blew out an entire wall of their house and just like boom, like about a foot off.
It's time for us to do an extension on the house. Boom.
I mean, it's a fast way to do it, right?
We might need to rebuild,
contractors.
Might need to rebuild the whole house.
Yeah.
So we got stuff.
Hey,
we should talk about stuff. So welcome to the stream.
Welcome to the Beamdog stream.
I guess we're live. We should stop goofing off and actually talk.
Like we ever stop goofing off during the entire stream.
That's true. So Beamdog news.
Yes.
You. I'm going to point at the camera.
There you go.
You should be working here. We're looking for all sorts of peeps. Web developers, C++ programmers, a lead programmer, QA testers, technical artists, and our network sysadmin.
Right on.
We're currently doing interviews, and we're still looking for other people. Niv can't work here because he always works here. So no, not you, Niv.
I mean, if you want to like put behind the beautiful vistas that you've been sending us photos of and come and move to the frozen tundra of Edmonton, I'm sure we would be happy to accommodate you. But Niv, like we're all sitting here like bundled up in blankets and parkas and stuff like that, and Niv is showing us photos of like
here's me driving topless through the countryside. Noticed all the beautiful green behind me, and we're like, so you know Mad Max Fury Road? Yeah, just replace the orange sand with white.
That's pretty much Edmonton.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice. It's just, you don't want to be outside certain times of the day.
Yeah, it's not bad right now.
No,
I mean,
it's
I was
nice
thinking
right
about
now.
it. I mean, I keep thinking about buying a legit winter coat.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking one of those, I could go outside in -50 and go, ha, ha, ha.
Like a Canada Goose Everest jacket type thing,
But realistically, we get what? A week where it's cold enough? And that week is literally, I park the pre-warmed vehicle. I run the approximate 1 block inside, at which point I'm back in a heated, protected zone.
Yeah.
It's like being able to kind of launch yourself between airlocks for brief periods of time. You can survive the exposure, but
just hold your breath.
Yeah, hold your breath. Jump. Keep going in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, I did have my first experience with Edmonton's really mean ice on the ground the other day.
The ice was that was impressive. So we had freezing rain. If you don't know what freezing rain is, it is freezing rain.
Yep.
It hits the ground and it freezes into a sheet of ice. It's just literally like a skating rink everywhere.
Yeah.
I was walking my dog, and the slope on the sidewalk towards the street was actually enough. I had to walk at about a 45-degree angle just to kind of keep going along the direction I wanted to.
Dog just gets further and further away.
The dog's kind of like, back up here, dog.
A few of us left it. It's not good.
Yep.
Yeah. I managed to keep on my feet, but like I've had a bad experience with ice before, so banged my head, gave myself a concussion. It was real bad.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all.
Yeah.
We've got job perks listed here.
Hey.
Cool projects.
Things you get.
Exclamation point.
When you're here.
Secrets. Exclamation point. Dat coffee machine. Exclamation point. Buy Dan beers. No.
I mean,
no buying Dan. You can buy Dan beers.
Yeah, you're welcome
to
buy Dan beers.
You don't have to work here to do that. Dan's totally. Dan is totally willing to take beers from rando people. After hours D&D. Why is there no exclamation point?
Oh, sorry, I wrote those ones. That's why I have exclamation points.
And
my fault. I apologize.
Beamdog swag, like T-shirts. We're always wearing T-shirts.
Yeah.
And there's this jacket, but there's only 2 of these in existence.
Yeah, but we do have some like red shirts that do have the Beamdog logo and the exclamation point on the back. And like, yeah, you don't have to win a T-shirt through a stream in order to get one. So.
You pretty much the box shows up and somebody throws something at you, and you're like, "Thanks. Hey, do you have my size?" "No, shut up, take it."
T-shirt for T-shirt for new project. Don't wear it yet.
Yeah, don't take this one anywhere. So on the marketing news side,
yes,
newsletter, you should sign up, and you should tell friends to sign up, because that way we can actually send you information when it comes available, as opposed to having to wait until, I don't know, say a live stream or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, those secrets that were mentioned up above. That is the best place to learn about those secrets.
It's the place.
Exactly.
And we're also going to be running some contests through there, so that should be fun.
Absolutely.
As for what those contests are, I'm not going to say at this point.
That is secret, right?
I think we should do some kind of total northern survival contest.
Oh, that would be great.
Let's take 3 game players, and we'll throw them in the wilderness for a week with a box of matches. And a toothbrush.
We're not legally allowed to do this. Please don't hold us to that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll give them all red shirts.
Yeah. Oh, man. Red Beamdog shirts or just red shirts?
Red Beamdog shirts.
There you go.
So
that's exclusive.
People will know
if
you're wearing the red Beamdog shirt and you're out in the wilderness. Don't bother these people.
Don't help them.
Yeah, they don't need your assistance. They're doing.
They're fine. Yes.
Yeah, we have a sale going on Beamdog.
We do.
We have Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition and the soundtrack for 40% off this weekend.
Yay!
Exclamation marks! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! 3 of them. Wow.
Absolutely.
I feel good about that.
Yeah, we're a little high tension today.
So, we got a question.
We got a
couple
Let's
questions.
Because
everybody always asks us questions.
Yeah.
Will you add a feature in 2.6 from BGEE, BG2EE to Icewind Dale EE when you pick up a better item for your character? His or her icon becomes yellow.
Okay, so this is talking about the item or the equipment comparison thing that we have. We found this, and it is a problem. There was a missing 2DA file in Icewind Dale, so we just need to add that, and then equipment comparison should work. So we are aware of that, and that is one of the 2.6 fixes that we're planning on putting in.
We could totally patch that.
Yep.
I'm kind of sad today. You know why?
Why's that?
I realize it's going to be an absolute year before I can say Black Friday. Because I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. Somebody did ask how our Black Friday.
You know, we did it. It was a thing. It happened. It had its time.
Yeah.
Maybe in a year.
Yeah. We have to ration that.
So here's a question for you.
Go on.
Achievements for Neverwinter Nights EE. When? Question mark.
Yesterday evening. On Android, Steam, and other platforms coming soon.
Coming soon on other platforms, but already on Android.
Yep, already on Android.
How about that?
Android achievements are there.
Here's a question. Do you at Beamdog also train people? I would like to do work at Beamdog, but I have absolutely no skills in anything. We do train people, but typically we bring them in quite skilled, and then we train them to obscene levels of skill.
Yeah, the training is layering on top of your already existing skills.
I've always get that question. It's like the number 3 question. It's like, so how'd you get into the game industry? Oh, I got into the game industry by saying, hey, I should make games. How hard could it possibly be? And the answer is it's really hard.
It's really hard.
But we didn't know that at the time, and we were totally willing to just do whatever it took to get into it. So my background is computer science. I am a 3rd-year dropout. I finished my 3rd year comp sci, and we started what became BioWare in the year following my 3rd year. My plan was, I'll do this game thing for a bit, and then I'll go back and finish my degree. Nope, never happened. So I think out of all of the founders, I'm the only one who actually quit school to do it.
But I mean, you know, if you have the chops, then
it worked out. I mean, I would say at best I'm a competent programmer. 15 years ago, I was a competent programmer.
I've never been a competent programmer.
Today I'm a washed-up has-been programmer. Actually,
it's hard to call yourself a washed-up has-been when you have a successful video game company.
I think actually I'm more of a washed-up never was on the programming
on the programming side, maybe? Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
I remember working with Cameron on Shattered Steel when we were finishing it up, and we were talking about the the controller code, because I wrote the controller library for Shattered Steel, and I wrote the AI and the pathfinding for it. And Cam was telling me, it's like, okay, do it like this, and then you just map to this function like that. And I was like, you can do that? It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So it was at that point I kind of realized it's like, I should get out of programming. I'm not that good.
I can do a little bit of scripting.
Yep.
Yeah, and I can do Blueprint and Unreal.
If you want to get into game development, the best way to get into game development is start making games.
Yeah, start working on
You'll
it.
figure stuff out. And then if you want to be a programmer, get yourself a degree.
Yeah.
I mean, it's education, especially university education in programming. It will teach you kind of the thoughts and the concepts behind everything. And then whatever language you're working on, a lot of those concepts apply. And then work on your own time as well. Like the biggest skill you'll learn on your own time is how to debug things well, and then performance.
Yep.
How to do performance tuning. Those are things that typically education doesn't focus a lot on, but video games, it's like a huge, huge thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it also depends on what discipline you want to get involved in. Like, I didn't have a formal education for what I do as a producer. There wasn't really, like, video game producer wasn't exactly something you could study to be. My degree is in Japanese linguistics, so it doesn't really translate over.
Yeah, there's
so
there's
much,
a couple careers in game development where you look at the background of the people involved and it's kind of just rando.
Yeah.
The video game writers are kind of like, Dave Gator was a hotel manager.
Yeah, yeah.
Other people like English undergrad. Other people like arts degree.
Yeah. But the important part is building up the skill set, like time management and people management and stuff like that for like production. Familiarizing yourself with like agile project management methodology and stuff like that.
So I'm a pimp. I have my PMP. I'm a project management professional. I am a certified Scrum Master.
PMP.
I did all that stuff. And I mean, it's interesting. It gives you a perspective on things. But at the end of the day, the best producers I know, they have a piece of paper or a notebook. They walk around, they write things down, and they cross things off.
The sticky notes.
Yep.
They're really useful.
Getting it done. Taking it down.
Just know what you got to do and how to get it done for the most part.
And by actually doing games, like when somebody sends in a resume, we're like, yeah, it's a resume. We have seen 7,000 of those resumes. When somebody sends in a link to their game demo, it's kind of like, oh, this is different. We'll look at it. So if you've got an amazing game demo, it just goes that much further to kind of selling the whole concept of what you are, what your skills are, and why you should work here.
Yeah, and there's so many free engines out there right now. Like indie game dev has never been easier.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Unity, Unreal. If you want to do like a point-and-click adventure game, there's like Adventure Game Studio, Game Maker. I think is pretty much free.
It's just crazy.
RPG Maker. There's plenty of things that you can.
We got another question here. Neverwinter Nights EE. After some rumors and testing, it appears animating textures via TXI files alone is no longer supported. Can you confirm this? No, I can't confirm it. I haven't played with it. Are there any plans on a replacement system for content creators? If so, the renderer rework stuff is going along. It's still in the experimental stage. Cam has looped Soren in now. Those guys are bashing away on it.
Yep.
It's going to actually be pretty cool, but right now it's still kind of researchy. So
it's true.
Ultimately,
yeah, I'm not sure about the TXI. I am in particular. Typically, when we get more sort of technical question like this, I need to defer to Niv or other folks.
So TXIs ultimately they're basically a descriptor on the texture that tells it to treat the texture in a special way.
Yep.
At the time, it was a good workaround. Now it might be a little archaic,
a little dated.
We'll see. I mean, ultimately, the goal is to not screw the content creators and break everything, but at the same time, take a big step forward here.
Yep. Absolutely.
Here's a question. Office D&D pen and paper live stream. When?
Office D&D paper and paper live stream.
Is there actually an audience for that? People want to watch our Office peeps play D&D?
Do you want to watch us sitting around a table playing D&D? Because like,
if you do, you obviously have way more time on your hands than you should. You should develop some hobbies.
I don't know. Like, I get it. Live streams are fun to watch. And like live plays. I spend more time listening to live play podcasts than I do watching stuff on TV because a lot of the time I'm too focused on something else to like, and I find myself getting distracted by like movement and stuff like that on my other screen. But like, and most of my time consuming content is during commutes. Yeah. So, but
I mean, ultimately, I am the world's worst spectator. I just hate watching things. Like I love racing sports cars. I think it's amazing.
You're a doer, not a watcher.
I try to watch it on TV. I'm like, and I walk away because I'm like, I could be doing that right now, and I should. And this whole watching thing sucks. I need to get away from it. Bad spectator.
But bad. Yeah, you know, if there's enough demand for it, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Here's a question. Do you guys have any projects that use functional programming stuff? Maybe Elm or Rust? No. Since we're working with mostly the older stuff, it's almost entirely C++ based stuff. I mean, we use Neverwinter script, of course, which is, it's very close to C in its syntax.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's based off of
and
the
then
game is written in
on
C,
the web side, we use kind of the standard web stuff.
HTML, HTML5,
React, those kind of things. Question, game dev, harder than making knives? Yes. Knives you can do by yourself. Game dev, you need other people. And needing other people makes it a real challenge. Although you can try to be the one-shot wonder and do everything yourself, but at some point that's going to be hard. Yeah,
and like even the really successful, you know, one-person shows, like Eric Barone, who made Stardew Valley. Like he spent 8 years of his life basically doing only that, and like having to learn how to do each and every one of these skills and things like that. It is, and like
it's kind of
that'll ruin your life.
Yeah, well, it's
better to find a diverse group of individuals who all have a skill set that are useful in creating the project that you're working on.
I don't know what the current prevalent thinking is on the whole Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hours to achieve mastery thing, but I don't really care what the current world thinking is because I kind of believe it. Yeah, it takes about 10,000 hours to be really, really good at something, and
absolutely,
if you want to be really, really good at a lot of things, I hope you don't like sleeping because that's what it takes.
And devoting yourself to kind of one set of skills.
One set, boom, nail that. And it's kind of like a degrading thing. When you go away from a skill for too long, it takes a while to get back to it. I find that with my blacksmithing. Since I get to do it about once every month, I come back to it and I'm like, oh, I remember how to... my arms don't work like they once did. And it takes me about half a day to kind of remember how to swing things and how to hold things and how to quickly stamp out fires on myself. Because it's a common thing. You set yourself on fire. It happens.
There's a lot of fire happening.
After a while, you're like, oh, I'm on fire again. Pat, pat, pat.
I feel like you deal with more fire than most of us tend to.
It's one of those things, like, once you've been on fire 500 times, you're kind of like,
most of us don't expose ourselves to that much fire in our life.
So as a result, you're kind of your panic reaction is kind of like, oh, it's only possible death hurtling at me as opposed to immediate death with the fire thing. I'm good with that.
That's fair.
There's a question. Any progress with filtering servers by game type? It's a feature. It's on our plans. We're not there yet. It's going to be a little bit before we can get there. We got a big to-do list. And I mean, Android, getting Android done, out, shipped will be amazing.
Yep.
Then we got iOS to do the 64-bit stuff. And then we can kind of return to kind of longer-term, bigger features.
Yes.
Here's a question about 2.6. The release of 2.6 and DLC coming closer to Christmas. We're kind of waiting on an approval issue right now, so it's going to take a little bit of time for us to get through. We want to get it done before Christmas, but I don't know if time will allow it.
Yeah, we don't have a concrete date at the moment because there are some logistical issues that we have to deal with first. Once those are resolved, then we'll know, and if it gets too close to like the holidays, then that also provides a particularly difficult problem because it's like we don't want to release something and then walk away for 2
Hey, look,
weeks.
we just launched this new patch that totally breaks everything. Oh, and see you guys in January.
We'll test the hell out of it to make sure it doesn't break everything, but the difference between a team of like 5 or 6 people testing something and then saying it works because we've gone through all of the tests that we've written,
thousands of people working.
And then thousands of people who do insane things that we never thought you would ever do.
Yeah, I forget what there was a stat I saw on a newly released like AAA game where the entire QA effort that was put forward into the game was eclipsed by users playing the game in the first hour.
Yeah. I mean,
just madness.
cumulative hours are a big thing, right?
Yep.
Like, yeah, that's.
So there's a question. I want to see a Trent lifting stream.
It's more of a statement than a question.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I want to see a Trent lifting stream. So when I go to the gym, I have Etymotic ER6 headphones that I put in. They're basically an earplug with a little speaker in them. And the greatest thing about them is that when people come to talk to me, their mouths move, but I hear nothing. So I can just ignore them and go back to what I'm doing. I'm in my happy bubble when I'm working out. And I like my happy bubble to just be about me. And I tried videoing myself in the gym. I had my phone with me because I left my usual music player in the office charging. So I had my phone and I set it up and I tried taking a video of myself, and yeah, cinematography and weightlifting just don't go well together. You're not in the right space. You're looking at the lighting. You're like, oh, the lighting's bad here. I got to move this. It's like, that's not where I want to be when I'm working out. When I'm working out, I want to be like, this weight will kill me if I do not get it off of my chest.
You're sweating. You're making strange faces.
Exactly.
Yeah. You think you want to see a Trent lifting stream.
Yeah. Mostly it's just me making funny faces. And
you get that every Friday.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting all the benefit with none of the downside. So
yeah.
You don't want to see me lifting. It's not a good thing.
You don't want to see me lifting either. That just goes badly. So, yeah.
Here's a statement.
Another statement.
I would watch if you made some interns play Neverwinter multiplayer, a campaign playthrough, 8 hours a day. Seems good. Make it happen. So we talked about doing a bunch of interesting things.
Live streams.
Yep.
And, yeah.
One was, we won't go there.
There were some we won't go there things that we discussed. Yeah.
Some of them were questionable in terms of their intent. It's like, wouldn't it be funny if? The answer is yes.
That would be funny,
but that also leads
down
the
legal
trail
ramifications.
to liabilities.
Litigation.
Let's not go to litigation.
But I mean, like I have thought at times that it would be kind of awesome to have like a Beamdog run DM'd game, where we've had a couple of folks coming in and actually playing a game and DMing it, kind of showing off the DM tools and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool, but it would take some time to pull together.
Yep. And I think somebody'd have to train up and become a competent DM.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on it.
It's not me.
Yeah, I'm aware of the DM tools and how they work, and I'm poking at them, making sure that I'm doing my due diligence. But it's going to take a while before I'm going to be like a really good DM. We need to grab Grumpy Cat. We're coming to DM
Grumpy
again.
Cat. We need DM. You got to come in. Got to help us out. We should have Grumpy Cat do like a training session.
That'd be awesome.
Train us.
Yeah, we should do a couple of like training videos.
How to be a good DM.
Anyway.
Yep. Question. Now the object scaling rotations are possible through scripting. Any plans to add that functioning directly into the tool set so we can resize, rotate placeables and such in the area editor?
There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done in the tool set.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're glad that Victor's back from his honeymoon.
Yep.
But this is one of those areas where the tool set's just...
It's a big long list of things that we want to do, and
a lot of things to commit to.
Yep.
Any chance for Neverwinter 2 EE? No. Right now, the contract stuff around that's kind of yucky.
Yeah. Sadly,
although with Obsidian becoming acquired by Microsoft, maybe that'll change things, but I doubt it. I think it's probably still all tangled up. Tangled.
Yeah. Well, licensing stuff, right?
Licensing. It's like a swear word. Licensing. Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah. Licensing complicates everything, sadly.
It does. It's because you're talking to business people about a creative product.
Yeah.
And here's how you know you're in a bad place. when you're talking to someone and they call the game the product or the package or the SKU, the instant it is a SKU and not a game, you're in the business world and you're talking to somebody in the business world about a thing that they just, to them it is literally a thing that generates numbers of revenue, and that is the only existence it has. So they're completely unaware of anything else around it, and they don't care. And it's horrible.
Yep.
It's horrible. Dan's giving us a sign. We should give away a T-shirt.
T-shirt. All right.
We're getting maudlin here.
There you go. We've been maudlin for a little while at this point.
We should give the T-shirt to Genghis is Galahad.
Genghis Galahad.
Are we giving away this T-shirt? We're giving away a Neverwinter T-shirt.
Neverwinter T-shirt for Genghis Galahad, like the one
Well
that I
done.
am wearing, except with significantly less cat hair on it.
You have an impressive amount of cat hair.
Yeah, my cat was very snuggly this morning after I woke up.
Snuggly cats. Here's a question. What's your non-Beamdog favorite CRPG of 2018? I got nothing. I haven't played a CRPG in 2018.
Yeah, I was a Kickstarter backer for Pathfinder Kingmaker, and I've enjoyed it quite a bit. Yeah, it's a good CRPG.
Yeah, I've been playing internal stuff. Been playing Borderlands 2. Been playing. I played BattleTech, which was
BattleTech was fun.
I guess
was
it's kind of
Kickstarter backer for that one too.
BattleTech was.
Yeah, I like the harebrained schemes.
When I started BattleTech, I was so angry. I was like, "This is the clumsiest thing ever. This is the worst user interface. It's horrible." And then I got past that, and I actually really enjoyed the game.
Yeah, well, you know, that's the thing. That's like it's a tabletop strategy war game basically. So how do you translate that into a good UI? Yeah, BattleTech was good. I haven't had the chance yet to play Deadfire.
Okay. I fired it up, played it for a bit, and I don't know. I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
No.
Divinity Original Sin 2 is really good with friends.
With friends.
Yeah. Like I play with my brother and two of our friends from California.
Yep.
And it's fantastic with like a group of people, because like when when it's just you running all four of your party members, like you have that perfect strategy thing in your head.
Yep.
When you've got people that'll like throw a wrench in it or like misclick or something like that. Like that sounds awful, but like the hijinks. It's fantastic. And like yelling at my brother, like, why did you do that?
Why in the name of God would you do such a thing?
It's like I really could have used that healing spell. I have like 2 HP right now.
Exactly.
Feels a lot more like actually partying in a video in a D&D campaign.
That's
or
awesome.
Like that. So yeah.
So here's a question.
Yep.
I'm sure you've been asked a lot, but is there any chance of making a new game with D&D with the 2nd edition rules? And the answer is no. From a licensing standpoint, 2nd edition is so old that really Wizards wants to drive everything towards 5th ed. Yeah, so if we do any future projects, any new stuff, it'll be 5th ed.
5th ed is their thing, so
yep,
we have to respect that. And I mean, we may yet make more 3rd ed stuff for Neverwinter Nights because it's Neverwinter Nights, but that's within the umbrella of Neverwinter Nights.
Neverwinter Nights droid. Stick support?
Virtual joystick is active. We do not officially support any peripherals at the moment.
So no official peripheral support.
It may work, but I don't think so because we haven't mapped it directly to any controller input type thing.
So you should go on the forums and you should talk about it and you should make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we could absolutely consider, but our main priority has been get the core experience working. Because once you throw a lot of peripherals into the mix, it's like, well, does this work? How does this work? If this works differently than another one, which do we prioritize? How do we unify that?
Yep.
So it becomes a little bit more difficult. So we focused on making sure that those of you out there who don't use any peripherals with your device, you just have your tablet or your phone, can play the game as intended.
Yeah.
And then
I think if we get enough requests for virtual or for actual stick support or peripheral support, it's something we can totally look at.
Absolutely.
Neverwinter News.
Neverwinter News.
We totally got off track.
We got a good half hour in before we even made it to the other half of the page. Shall we?
We are like the worst people ever. If
No.
I was like a news host,
This
I
is
would be getting the
fantastic.
sign of, get it, move in.
Cut that.
Yeah, stop
Roll
talking.
forward. Go.
Stop talking, you jackass.
You get slapped by your producer.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Or pop.
Okay. So, Yeah, Neverwinter Nights.
It says Neverwinter EE News. Show and talk about new main menu art.
Well, we can certainly do that.
Ba-ding! So there's art.
There is art
On the main menu.
Fantastic, beautiful art that
And it
was
is
built specifically for Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition.
Sweet.
Yeah, it is so nice. I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. This is one that we are have rolled out to the Android version and are looking at moving on to PC.
This is the Beholder Kidnap.
Yeah, the Beholder Kidnapping with the you have kobolds who have kidnapped somebody and rolled them up in a carpet and are dragging them through the sewers to a particularly ugly Beholder. Yeah. Because Beholders are just weird and strange.
Sounds like a regular Sunday night.
And then you have your adventuring party here on the right side of the screen. Classic dwarf, human, and fairy is a little unclassic, but still. Yeah, so we were really happy with the way that this turned out, and so far the response has been pretty positive. So we're going to look into bringing this onto PC and seeing how people feel about it. So.
Next point, Neverwinter Nights, Enhanced Edition, Beta 3 is live! Exclamation point!
Exclamation point!
Premium modules! Exclamation point! Achievements! Exclamation point!
Yes, so Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition Beta 3, we rolled out on Google Play yesterday evening. It is live, so those of you who are using or playing the Android beta can upgrade to Beta 3, which has added all of the final features.
Yep. So when he said final features, that means this is a potential release candidate.
That is correct. So that means that you have access to all of the premium modules that we release. So if I go down the store here, you can see that we have Darkness over Daggerford, Wyvern Crown of Cormier, the Pirates of the Sword Coast, and Infinite Dungeons, which you can purchase in the same manner that you can with Steam. We had to change the way that we handled our in-game store a little bit because we didn't want to inflate the download too much for devices, because trying to ask people to install 2 gigabytes is bad enough.
Yeah. So you'll need 12 gigabytes of your 8 gigabyte device.
Yes.
That's bad. That's
so
bad.
Where you would typically get Kingmaker and Shadowguard and Witch's Wake just pre-installed on your game, these are now, you just go into the store, you scroll down, and they're listed as free, and you can just click install, and it'll just grab them and download them right to your device. Which makes the whole process quite a bit smoother and easier.
That's awesome.
For the same, and those of you who are looking for Contest of Champions and Dark Ranger's Treasure and those 4 other modules, those are here in the Adventure Bundle, which you can also get for free.
By the way, we did that first. Contest of Champions. That was a Neverwinter thing way before the... Is it a Marvel or a DC game?
I believe that's...
DC, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. That sounds right.
So DC...
No, it's Marvel. But either way.
Yeah,
before it was superheroes, it was D&D.
It was D&D. And it was how we actually, when we finaled Neverwinter Nights, we were actually sitting around playing Contest of Champions.
Yep.
And we kept wondering why the heck Noel was murdering us all the time. And then we found out he was using this one priest spell, and it had a bug in it where you would never make the save. So it was always like, oh wow, you die.
Yep.
Bastard.
Oh, is my battery really low on
Took
this
us
thing?
a while to fix that.
Not too bad.
So here's a question. Is the Droid version going to be on the Amazon Marketplace for us poor people with Kindle Fires?
I'm afraid that we don't officially support Kindle devices with this product. The way that they handle their OS and their chipsets is different from
they changed
devices.
enough things that it's actually kind of a pain in the butt for us. It's almost like an implementation of a complete additional SKU.
Yeah.
See, I said SKU.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God, I'm in the business space.
Yes. The SKU is different. It would be akin to doing another project like iOS.
It's really another platform.
Sadly.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So there you go.
Here's a question. Since you have the rights to Neverwinter and other D&D games, could you launch related merchandise? We want Boo and Arabeth plushies, mugs, etc. We talked about this with Wizards a lot. It's something we just haven't sorted out. I mean, we'd love to be able to sell merch, and we think there'd be a good market for it. I mean, there's a really good market for just us giving away T-shirts. We'd love to be able to sell them so that more people could actually have them.
Yep,
But,
that's true. But there's there is a licensing thing that we would have to hash out first.
Trying to sort it for a while, but we haven't made progress on that yet.
Exactly. But that's just the situation.
Yeah. Here's another question: will the store be implemented on the PC version, perchance? No. We're typically just going to run the PC version the same way it is.
Yeah, the PC version already has access to the other features. This is basically because like the Google Play Store doesn't do DLC the same way that like Steam or GOG or even Beamdog Client now
So the answer is we didn't think this was the best way to do it. We thought this is the only way we can do it on Android. Yeah. So
this makes it more simple. And I mean, you just get these modules pre-installed.
Yep. So question, any news regarding the engine and next updated Baldur's Gate translations, ? Again, this is part of the 2.6 issue, and we don't want to just crush it out too quickly, so it's going to be a bit.
Okay. Yeah, so a little bit more on the Neverwinter Nights EE, because we got a little bit off track with talking about
we always
that.
Get off track.
Yeah, to reiterate, so the premium modules are purchasable. We also have achievements on Google Play. So those of you who have been asking for achievements for a while, the first step is done, and you can get achievements by playing the game. There are a couple of there in there that should be fairly easy to identify. Some of them are going to require you to play through the campaigns. So, yes, check them out, play them, enjoy them. I hope that you guys have fun. Those of you who enjoy getting achievements, now you can. And the next step will be porting the script that we created for our achievements into the main version of the campaigns. So, yay. That's good. Also, there are a couple of things that I also wanted to mention with this particular update for those of you who have been playing Beta 2 or Beta 1 even. There was an issue that we had where people were being assigned the same key.
Oh yes. So this was part of the Google documentation, is that this is a unique Google ID that will be unique to each device, only it isn't.
Yes. So for some reason, and I'm not entirely sure, and I'm not going to point fingers.
We're not going to blame you, Google or Samsung or any of those people who did this.
But using device ID is not a good way to guarantee that it is a unique device.
Yeah, it turns out about 30% of devices have the same.
About 30% of devices report the same device ID to us. So we were like looking through our logs, and it's like, this is impossible. Like the amount of installations from this one device
somewhere
ID.
This one dude has installed this game 30,000 times.
From IP addresses across the world. So
unless he's Santa Claus on his sleigh.
So that was bad. And so those of you who are playing Beta 1 and Beta 2 and you tried to log in and it's like, this multiplayer key is already in use or whatever. You were given a CD key that was given. You have one of those devices. So what we've done is create a one-time Google Play login. So you have to be connected to Google Play Games, and as long as you're connected to Google Play Games and you hit the multiplayer button, it will get you a new unique key that will be tied directly to your Google Play Games account. Which we know is unique.
It's unique because it's your account on Google Play Games.
Yes, and that will resolve any of those issues. Anybody who currently had a version of the beta, those keys will be invalidated and basically have been deleted off of your device. So if you also grabbed your CD key from your PC version and you install it into the thing, you just have to do that again. We haven't invalidated your PC keys. Don't worry about that.
We're good like that.
Yeah. So there you go. Yay.
IE news.
Yes.
Baldur's Gate 20th anniversary is coming up next month. We have no releases planned, but watch out for a contest. So I actually recently ran across a picture. I'm gonna pull up my phone. and I'm gonna show the picture off.
We should get should have preloaded it onto this thing.
So
but we need the hand of Dan to bring this over.
Of the BioWare team in 1997.
1997.
So this is us in a field about a block away from where the BioWare office was at the time. So one of my former coworkers posted this up to Facebook, and of course my comment on it was like, "Wow, it looks like we hadn't seen the sun for quite a while." And
I mean, that could just be from living in Alberta, this far north in Alberta.
But it was in the middle of summer.
Yeah,
and it's like a whole bunch of pasty white people sitting in it.
Hard to make that.
It's like, hey, it burns, the sun. It's horrible.
Pasty cave dwelling video game designers.
Exactly. It was funny looking back at the picture. You see all these people. You're like, wow, I'd totally forgotten about that dude. And that was a long time ago. Yep, that's pretty crazy.
21 years, it looks like.
It's coming up on 20 years.
Coming up.
Yeah, well, that photo was
97.
Yeah, 97. So it's
2018. So
yeah, 21 years.
Oh
my God, my God.
Old enough to buy alcohol in pretty much every country.
Yeah, so that was the summer before we shipped.
Nice.
My God. Yeah, looking at that, I was like, oh, I remember that dude's name, and that dude, and that dude. I remember we had a guy named Henrik Vasquez, and I was like a huge Aliens fan. And it was like, Vasquez! So every time I saw him in the hallway, I was like, Vasquez! I think he was scared of me.
That would be hard to reconcile if you hadn't been working together for a while.
Exactly. Yeah. Probably shouldn't have done it on his first day.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
I'm kidding. Second day. Here's a question. How about creating a few D&D art pieces, like one could set as a background in the menu? Kind of like setting backgrounds in StarCraft 2, if you guys ever played. If we ever played, come on. Everybody on the planet has played StarCraft 2.
Yeah, especially now that the first campaign is free.
Yeah, they made it free. Bastards.
If you didn't know.
They made it free.
But knowing is half the battle.
Yep.
So you can go and grab, StarCraft 2 if you can tear yourself away from Neverwinter Nights for a little while.
Yeah, but just don't play multiplayer, because that's just sad.
Well, I mean, depends on your play style, I guess. Like the multiplayer scene is the whole thing. I mean, I'm engaged to a Korean, so
I'm just tired of being crushed by 12-year-olds.
Okay, so yes, playing multiplayer is like masochistic a little bit.
Basically, online play right now in any game is, do I feel like being crushed by 12-year-olds? If the answer is yes, by all means,
play
go
any
ahead.
game online. Yeah. That's pretty much how it works.
If the answer is no, well, you have to find your friends.
Bring some friends.
Because your friends will likely suck as much as you do. Not like those damn 12-year-olds.
Yep.
God, hate them.
More questions.
Oh, God. Community questions.
Lots of
I'm going to let you take this for a bit.
Why don't I? All right. So we have a question about the Infinity Engine games. Can you include the original Spanish dubbing that Baldur's Gate 1 and Baldur's Gate 2 had into BGEE and BG2EE? So I'm not sure if we have the source audio files for those. They weren't included in BGEE. I'm not sure if that was a conscious decision or not, but we have to look into it.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, we have the data drops that we have, and some of them didn't quite follow along with the actual releases of the game. And some territories, literally, the territory rep would handle that stuff and put those files in, so we should be able to track down those files, and if we can, we'll definitely look at putting them in a future patch. Yeah,
so if there's a Spanish language version out there, we'll see if we can find it and get it in. So there you go. Question number 2, why is the value for facing you get in the tool set when you adjust a position 90 degrees different to what you need to supply to the script function create object? Is this an oversight, a bug, or just one of those things? So
the answer is it's one of those things. Ultimately, I blame 3D Studio Max for thinking that so you've got right-handed and left-handed spaces in terms of representing something by Euler angles, and Max is one way and the game is the other.
Yeah.
And as a result, angles are just... There's a lot of programmers who just hated life after this game.
Yeah, and it's a bit of an oversight in the tool set. Radian conversion calculates a little bit differently than the game.
So the answer is the one in the scripting is legit, and the tool set is munging the value to try and make it a little more intuitive. Yeah. So something we can look at. Again, it's a tool set thing. So. Okay. Yep.
Seems like we may not have actually answered the question about backgrounds that we received, making additional backgrounds for Neverwinter Nights. So.
I guess I got distracted on the whole StarCraft 2 thing and ranting.
Oops. Yeah.
It's a cool idea, but I mean, ultimately, it costs us money to have an artist sit down and bang out a piece of art.
Yeah, I think the first step is just to have the infrastructure in place to swap in the new art with the old art.
Yep. And then once the infrastructure's done, then it's just a matter of having the artwork created. So if we have the artwork kicking around and
we do have some cool artwork that we may be able to get in there. Actually, there was quite a bit of official like Neverwinter Nights art that is pretty cool.
Yep.
There's some stuff that's a little bit racy that Wizards of the Coast may or may not want us to use, but you know, so. We'll see.
I'm not sure if I remember that.
Oh, there's this like Naiad or something like that was like posed like this, and it was the whole thing.
That was the Mike Leonard Naiad, yeah.
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 Maxim cover, the Neverwinter Nights thing. I'm not sure if that would necessarily make it in, but like the Arabeth image that we used at the beginning of the stream, for example, could be something that we could use.
Could be.
I'm not sure, but first step, make it toggleable, make it so that you can choose which image you use.
True that. Question 3. I'll let you take this.
Okay, I see the Neverwinter Nights Android version is out.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet. Well, the beta 3 is out.
Yep.
But I'm not seeing TrueType fonts in the developer build in Steam yet. Will that feature be available in the near future? In the near future, yes.
Yeah, so we've got kind of 2 divergent code paths right now, and we've got to start cross-merging them, and essentially at one point we'll remaster back to one common path. But for right now, they're kind of split. So it'll take time for those features to make it back and forth. Then 64-bit will go in, then we'll remaster off of that. What a tangled web we weave.
Yes. Okay. Next question. Beamdog's HD weapons and shields on the workshop are appreciated. Thank you very much. Does Beamdog have any plans to release additional weapons and or shields in the near future?
So we were doing those as kind of an ongoing project, and part of that as well was the HD characters.
Yep.
We've got the characters mostly done. We're just kind of waiting on, again, we need to do some big code fixes to make them all work. On the weapons side, we really haven't kind of laid down that we're going to redo 100%, but the plan is to take a look at it, see what we can do.
Yeah, we want to improve a lot of the art in the game, and like when you create something and you make something in HD, and then you compare it against the other stuff in the game. It's like, I really want to fix this. Wow. Like I have the character updates, and that is updates to all of the character pieces that you can use in character creation. But there are some NPCs that are wandering around that are not covered by that.
They're hard cooked down.
Like hard cooked down, So like wandering around old man, or
you're like, hey, everything looks great. Oh my God, what happened to you, dude? You got all spiky and polygon.
Yeah,
and what's wrong with your face?
That is suffering from the wailing death or something like that. It looks like Dragon Age character, Quake 1 character.
What are you doing in my game, Quake 1 guy?
In the same place. So
go off and shoot some demons or something.
Yeah. So I mean, we're working on improving things as we go, and we're gonna have to find that sweet spot where we can still make use of some of the old assets by like adding new shaders and making them a little bit prettier.
So the answer is maybe.
Yeah, coming soon. Needs some work.
Yeah. Number 6, NWN Android.
Yep.
Someone bought the game on a Samsung Galaxy Tab A.
Yep.
It was lagging, so they refunded it. Ultimately, they're wondering if we made performance better.
So we actually have a Tab A in-house that we used, and I asked to have a look at it, and so it is on the lower end of devices for Neverwinter Nights, but if you turn off frame buffer effects, it performance jumps up, increases drastically. So if you want to play the game with Tab A, the recommended path is to go in there into the graphics options and turn off frame buffer effects, and then it should play relatively well.
Yeah, good rule of thumb is frame buffer effects apply on top of everything else.
Yeah.
So they are just massively heavy in terms of overhead. So if you can turn that off, you're going to get a lot better performance.
Yes.
Here's a question. How's the iOS version of NWN EE coming along? Right now it is saying, yeah, we're going to do it. We've made 0 progress on it because we're getting Android done first.
Yeah.
Then we got to do 64-bit. Then we got to start on iOS.
iOS will be built on top of the Android version.
So it's going to be a while, but it shouldn't be that bad. We don't have a firm timeline in mind. The answer is probably not even soon. What's a good game developer word that's not soon? Coming in the future.
Yeah.
At a future-
Coming 2019.
Yeah, coming, ...
Yeah. Coming.
Yes.
Eventually.
Number 8.
Yeah.
There was a mention about the UI redoing being contracted out to an external team to examine. Nope.
No, I have not heard of this either.
Nope. The UI stuff, I mean, ultimately, part of the renderer rewrite has a UI thing tied to it, so we'll see where that goes. Again, it's kind of R&D at this point. There's lots of options on the UI front.
Yeah. So the rendering update is going to heavily inform how the UI rework is done, and we have a fantastic graphic designer in house that is responsible for the button updates that we've done with Neverwinter Nights, and the UI could definitely use some love. We also have to make sure that purists can still have the old-fashioned UI that they love so much. Yep. So
here's a question. When will we get to see the initial fruits of the render rewrite? It's going to take a while.
Yep.
I mean, ultimately, it's such a big kind of rework. I don't have a real firm timeline in mind. It'll be, I mean, Cam's still working on it, and then Soren's starting to play with it, so it'll be a while.
Yeah, Cam's got it into a state where it's ready to start accepting some shader work.
It's ready for us to start work.
And now Soren is getting involved in there and actually starting to do some shader work.
So we'll see. I mean, it's going to take a while.
Yeah,
and
a little while.
It'll definitely be worth it when we're done it, but it's going to take a while. Here's a question.
Okay.
Oh my God, this is a long one.
This is a big one.
Creating custom content for Neverwinter Nights has always been about working around engine limits and possibly leveraging them towards desired results.
So I think you started.
Any chance Cam can sit down with the custom community and discuss the planned changes and direction of the new renderer to ensure a smooth transition and prevent a blow to the EE custom content scene? I think the right answer there is that Cam and Soren have to kind of take their first kick at it first. Once they've got a first kick at it, then they can kind of come back and say, okay, now that we have a rough idea of what we're trying to do here, here's what we're kind of thinking. As far as engaging with the community and stuff, I think that's something we could totally do.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, so Soren is an active member of the Neverwinter Nights community, as is Niv, and they are working directly with Cam on this project and the new workflow, and it'll mature as the renderer does. So they're very aware that we don't want to break your stuff.
Yeah, we don't want to break it. I mean, ultimately, we're not going to disallow things that you were able to do. Things, the required order to do things in may change, and the required mechanisms to do things may change, but we're not going to deprecate functionality.
Yeah. So the idea here is additive, not subtractive.
And I think it's such a fundamental change. It's going to be, I mean, when it's done, you'll be able to poke at it.
Yeah.
If you can't do things that you wanted to do, I'm sure it'll be flexible enough. We'll be able to figure out a way to accomplish the things you wanted to do.
It will kill the current renderer and be replaced. It will rise from the ashes like the phoenix. Yep. But yeah, like we still intend fully for it to work well. Right?
So here's a question. When are you guys announcing your original content for an NWN EE? I don't know. I guess when we have new content to announce.
There you
go. Is this the last live stream of the year? I don't think so. I think we're going to do one more.
Yeah, at least one more.
At least one more.
I mean, we're here until
I don't even know what month it is, man. Give me a break. I think we're still in November.
We're here until the week of the 17th, I think.
Yeah.
Right? So,
so
we'll do it all right to the
probably
end.
Two more, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the next question. What speed quad-core processor needed for NWN Android?
Sure
what is our min spec on that side?
Like,
I think our rule of thumb is if you bought the device in the last 2 years, it should be pretty good.
Yeah.
If you bought the device longer than
minimum device
longer than 2 years ago, it's going to get into the sketchy space. You're going to have to be like, was it a high-end device 2 years ago?
The funny thing with Neverwinter, especially on Android, is that like some devices that we don't think would run it well, and some devices that we think would run it kind of strangely. Chipsets on mobile devices are kind of strange.
Oh. So the Android side, I mean, you've got 3 texture compression schemas that are based off 3 different GPUs. Whether you're running the Android or the NVIDIA GPU, you're running the PowerVR GPU, or you're running the Qualcomm GPU. So depending on which one it is, your performance is going to be totally different. And then that also, depending on which processor core you're running. So
and even funky things like pixel density on your screen and stuff like that.
There's the odd device where it's loaded with Chinesium. And it's got like a crazy high pixel density screen and this horrible GPU, and it's like, this runs like garbage.
Like, if you get the chance, compare a game on an iPhone 6 versus an iPhone 6 Plus.
Yep.
6 Plus is the same internals, except that it has a much bigger screen.
Yes.
And that kills performance.
Yep. Well, it's like what was the iPad 3? The resolution of the screen doubled, but the processor stayed roughly the same.
Yep.
So as a result, the performance just tanked.
Yeah. So there's a lot of factors that work into that. So it's hard to like nail down a very specific like set of things. But yeah, so far some things run it better than others, but we do have workarounds. Unlike a lot of Android games, we have the ability to customize your graphic settings.
Yeah, we can dial stuff back.
Yeah.
Just like the PCs did in 2000, man. In 2000. Here's a
you
question.
can tell we're PC developers because we're doing stuff like this.
So what will this new renderer do to things like CEP? So all the community content stuff. So our goal is to basically rebuild the renderer system and allow it to take the existing content and make it better. As long as you're using kind of standard ways of doing things. If in the CEP you did some things that are really clever, or you used a workaround around an existing bug in the graphics engine, some of those might break, but I'm hoping they should be few enough that they're pretty easy to find and fix.
Yeah, and stuff that is being widely used by the community. This is where like Soren and Niv
and Cam. I mean, the big thing will be they're going to load the content up, and they're going to take a look at it, and if they blow it up horribly...
Well, that's broken. I guess we need to fix how that works.
Is it supposed to look like that? Because that looks like butt, man.
Yeah.
I think we'll definitely want to work on that stuff. Here's another question: is there any progress on the collector's edition of NWN EE? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? No.
No, there's not.
There is not. Oh my God!
Moments of silence.
Moments of silence. We have 3 minutes remaining, and we've actually run out of things to talk about.
We got through all of our questions.
My God, we got through all the questions. We've answered the questions on the stream. This is unheard of.
Yep.
Unheard of.
Well, we can actually do a recap, which we usually miss because it's always so late.
So recap.
Okay. Number 1, you should work at Beamdog. There are many things that you can do.
Number 2 is job perks, cool projects, secrets. That coffee machine by Dan Beers. No. After Hours D&D and exclusive Beamdog swag.
Yes. Also, sign up for our newsletter and also grab Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition and the soundtrack for 40% off on Beamdog.com this weekend. Neverwinter Beta 3 is live, and this is our release candidate. Yep. So play it. And then very soon,
if you're playing it and nothing breaks,
if we can
release.
verify that it is stable,
yep,
and ready for prime time, press that button.
Exactly. And so Neverwinter EE, there's that whole multiplayer CD key revamp system.
Yep.
So if you've been in the beta so far, it's going to redo your.
So when
CD
you log
key.
into the game, it will have deleted your CD key. Do not panic. It will give you a new CD key as long as you're logged into Google Play Games.
Yeah, but you got to use Google Play Games because it's the only way we can get a unique identifier on Google.
Yes. Otherwise, you'll have the same multiplayer key as a bunch of other people, and you will not be able to log in.
Yep.
But there's also a path to install your CD key through the app menu. We're actually going to be sending out information on how to install your PC CD key or your desktop CD key.
Just in case you've been playing on a persistent server that's bound to your CD key and you want to keep going on it.
Yeah, because we're cool like that, right?
Occasionally.
Yes.
Occasionally. Cool.
All right, and we have a shirt to give away. Shall we?
We do.
Yes.
We'll give a T-shirt at the end too. Is that an O or a 0?
I think that's a 0. It's kind of slimmer than an O. So.
0_Alania. Aliana. That's
0 Aliana. Congratulations on winning a T-shirt.
0_.
One of these lovely Neverwinter Nights T-shirts
with
significantly
less cat hair. That's an impressive cat hair.
Yeah. He's shedding because despite the fact that it is ridiculously cold outside, the ambient heating from all of the rooms next to mine in my apartment complex is heating my apartment even without the heater on. So he is shedding, which is great.
Awesome.
So, yep.
Yay, cat hair.
Yay, cat hair.
And I think we're done.
Yep.
Goodbye.